Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am your host, Tamara Brosimova, and I am here with an amazing actor, Tom Bussineau. Did I say it right?
Bussineau.
Bussineau.
Like a bus.
Bussineau.
Yeah, Bussineau. Okay. A lot of people call me, I had a lot of people call me Bussinova. So Bussineau.
Bussineau. Copy. So can you tell me exactly who is Tom Bussineau?
Wow, that's a deep question. And but I'm born and raised in Flint, Michigan. My father was French Canadian. My mom's Italian, and my grandparents on my mom's side were Italian immigrants. But in 1989, I moved south to Atlanta, Georgia. I've worked retail, but back I was living in Charleston, South Carolina, and I think it was around 2012. They had the Crimson Horror Film Festival.
Yes.
In Charleston, the very first one. I'm a horror fan. I love horror. It's my favorite genre. And I just went to watch the films. Mm-hmm. And after watching the films, I looked at it and I said, I could do that. So I actually wanted to, yeah. Actually, that's true. I saw some of the films that made it into the festival. I was like, oh my gosh, I could do better than that. Oh, I have a writing background. It was more for journalism. I graduated with a degree in journalism, but I took a lot of creative writing classes growing up and in college. So I had a writing desire. So actually, I got into film more from writing, directing at first.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's me. I have 7 siblings, so I came from a big family.
How was that?
I was number 6 out of 8. And it was a lot of fun. I still keep in contact with them. Most of them are still in Michigan. But a lot of fun, a lot of adventures with 7 siblings.
That's awesome. I can't even imagine, because I grew up as an only child, and a lot of times, like me and my mom, we went to see our cousins, and there were 3 of them, and it was so crazy because they're just fucking crazy. But it was so much fun. So I can only imagine, like, with 7 siblings. And yeah, no, that's awesome. Do you like directing more or acting?
Right now, I like directing more. It was interesting because we, after this last 48-hour film festival, me and my crew, we sat down and talked, and we just had like some honest conversations about what we were doing next. And I had been doing so much as far as I was acting, directing, writing, producing. And the feedback I got from the crew is they felt that I was doing better directing. Not that I was a bad actor, just out of the 4, they felt that, if we were going to do projects together, should I stick with directing, which I'll do as our crew does productions. So if I do acting, it's going to be outside of what we do. So if I do acting, it's just going to be something separate from a different production company. And I actually got into acting because I wanted to be a better director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to know how it feels to be an actor, to get direction. I think sometimes it's made me direct a little bit better because I know what the actor is going through, or I know what the actor needs in that scene.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. You probably have a lot of fun stories from the film sets. Tell me the most fun one.
I know that's also tough, as it seems like every time you're on set, it's fun. Yeah. But from an actor standpoint, from the beginning to the end, the whole experience was living the dream. It was a British TV comedy filmed in Savannah, Georgia. That was back in 2017. It was my first SAG production. And just very excited. I didn't know really what to expect. I knew it was going to be better than background. I've done background work. And I know there's some talk about should you do background or not. I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
As far as background, getting some experience. When I did background, I would just listen more than I talked. I'd like to see what everybody was doing and hearing what everybody's doing. But it wasn't my first time as a paid actor, but it was my first SAG production. So, and I know we don't have a lot of time, so I'll try to keep everything really quick. But like I said, from beginning to end, it was great. I pulled up to set, and they had a gated set. It was a closed set. And I pull up, and the driver goes, background parking's across the street. And I went, no, I'm not background. I go, I'm talent. I'm playing the minister today. He started apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. I go, I'm Tom Bussino. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bussino. I don't watch American TV. I didn't recognize you.
Oh.
Come on through. And I didn't really care, but he just thought I was background. And so we pulled in, and he goes, okay, follow me. I go, well, my call sheet says I need to go to wardrobe first. So we go to wardrobe, and they said, oh yeah, Mr. Bussino, your suit is in your trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't expecting a trailer, never had a trailer. So I think just the whole, I mean, I could go on and on about that whole experience, but I think it was just how you were treated. Oh, I had a production assistant assigned to me the whole time. He just sat outside my trailer the whole time. If I needed something, you want breakfast, Mr. Bussino? Do you want some water? And it was just an amazing experience just to be treated like a star for a day. Even if it was just a day, it felt good.
It did, yeah. Excuse me. Let's see. What working actors and famous people did you get to work with? Who were nice?
Well, the most famous person, and this is actually when I was doing background, was with Adam Sandler.
Oh.
I met Adam Sandler, and so it was called The Do-Over. And if you watch the beginning of The Do-Over, you see me dancing between David Spade and Adam Sandler.
Oh.
And so it was a 2-day shoot for background for this reunion scene, and they had hundreds of extras. Mm-hmm. I didn't make it to set on the first day. On the second day, they said, okay, whoever wasn't on set, come follow me. And we had these name tags, which I still have. They said it was a high school reunion. Put a name, one name, not a first and last, just one name. And it can be a made up name. It can be your real name. Just put a name. So I put Buzz, B-U-Z-Z. Mm-hmm. And the reason I put Buzz, that was my nickname growing up, because people, instead of saying Bussineau, people say Bussineau for some reason. It's an S, but people pronounce it Bussineau. So me and my brothers all had the nickname Buzz. So I put Buzz on my name tag. And the assistant director, and I was supposed to be like 5 or 6 people coming into the reunion hall. And the assistant director goes, Buzz? He goes, why'd you put Buzz? I go, it's my nickname. He goes, that's my son's nickname. Aww. His son's name was Sawyer. He goes, so we call him Buzz Sawyer. So he goes, I tell you what, I want you to walk behind Adam Sandler. He moved me to the front because we talked for a while. He goes, I want you to walk in behind Adam Sandler when he goes into the reunion hall. And so I did. And so every time we did a take, Adam Sandler would come back and talk to me. And this girl that was supposed to be my couple, my girlfriend or my wife, whatever. And he'd come back and talk. He would joke and then laugh. He goes, what do you think? What do you think of this scene? He goes, should I change it up and everything? And so he started improvising his lines, and they do 3 different takes. And he was just super, super nice. Just really, really nice. The nicest actor that I've ever met on set.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love his movies. Like, I've been watching his movies like since I was, well, not that little, but like a teenager, like 50 First Dates, and then what else? Oh my God, there's just so many of them.
Yeah, I just watched one called Blended, which was really good. But I'm an Adam Sandler fan, so. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Do you remember the first role you ever booked?
Yeah, it was for an independent film shot in Savannah. It was called In Search of Liberty. Mm-hmm. My scene never made it to the final cut, but it was my first real audition. I did some student films in the past, but as far as a first paid role, actually my audition was just for my picture on IMDb. Mm-hmm. They saw my picture on IMDb and they said, would you like to audition for the role of news anchor.
Mhm.
So I got the audition for news anchor, and I went in. There was 5 people, and this is a live audition. So they had the writer, the producer, director, casting director, and I can't remember who the 5th person was, but there was 5 people. Never did a live audition before, and so I read the lines for the news anchor, and the writer looks at me. He goes, "Would you mind reading for the role of mayor?"
Mm.
So this is my first code read.
Yeah.
And so they gave me the script for the mayor, and they go, "He's giving a speech, so it doesn't matter if you look down because it's like you're reading a speech anyways." So I read for the mayor in front of them. They all look at me and just go, "Thank you." That's it. And I leave.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, wow. I guess I didn't do so well," but that was my first audition. I don't know. I didn't feel good about it. Then 2 days later, I get an email that says, "Congratulations. You have been booked for the role of James Madison,
Okay.
the dead president." I was like, "Okay." So I auditioned for 2 different roles and to get booked for a 3rd one. But unfortunately, that scene got cut, but it was a good experience.
That's awesome. What was the most memorable audition?
It actually was for, I have 2, but if I had to narrow it down, because for living the dream and for Florida Girls was good. But if I had to pick one, it was for Living the Dream, because they delayed my audition for a couple of weeks.
Mm.
And I had auditioned for the minister, and I was going to audition for, it was like a county inspector. And Daryl Shorter from Charleston, we became real good friends because he and I were auditioning for both parts.
Yeah.
And we went through 3 auditions. But because of somebody was sick, and so I had a couple of weeks to work on my minister role. So every morning I was listening to evangelical music.
Yeah.
Every morning I would listen to it, and I would, because I was preaching in this role. So every morning for 2 weeks, for an hour, I listened to church music. I would pretend I was preaching to the audience. I did my first audition with Chad Darnell.
Yeah.
And then I got a call back. And this time was a callback with the producer and the writer. And with Chad, and it was a Southern Baptist preacher. I grew up from Michigan, so I have a little bit of a Northern accent. But when I did for 2 weeks, I was talking like I was from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say 1 syllable words like God, you make it 2 syllables like God. And so I would practice that for 2 weeks. And so by the time I got in front of Chad the first time, and I felt I just had that Southern accent. So like, because the line was, "Clap your hands, all you peoples." And so I did that for 2 weeks. And then when I came, and Chad just smiled, and he goes, "That was great." When Chad smiles and says, "That is great, you did good." So I came back and I walk in and I go, "Hey, my name's Tom Bussineau." And they looked at me strangely and they go, "Your accent." "Oh, never mind." I go, "Oh yeah, I said, I will audition with a Southern accent," but I said, "Yeah, I grew up in Flint, Michigan." They're like, "Oh, wow, interesting." And Chad goes, "I thought your accent was a natural Savannah accent." I was like, no, that was just for the audition. Yeah, that's because I was just having a conversation with them. So I did it, but I did my whole Southern accent and did the whole preaching, because I was preaching to the whole congregation. Mm-hmm. So I could just imagine, even like I'm now, like this whole congregation. So it was fun, just because just going through that experience, like not method acting, but kind of sort of every morning.
Yeah. I was just going to mention that. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had a fun time with it.
That's good. So tell me, what else do you do besides directing, acting, auditioning, all the fun stuff? Do you, I keep seeing your posts on Instagram, you lift a lot.
Oh yeah. At one time I owned a gym in Savannah, and I do a fitness business. So I did, but COVID shut all that down. because we had to shut the gym down, and but that was okay. You know, it was a good learning experience. But yeah, I do lift. I lift a lot. I go to the gym. I went to the gym 5 times last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do that. But really, it's either the gym or writing right now. Like this afternoon, I'm gonna go write some more this afternoon. I'm doing a second draft on on my short film that I'm doing right now. So that's what I do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people after COVID are gonna hit the gym because I've been talking to, like, I talked to a lot of people and they're like, oh yeah, this is my COVID weight. I gained so much. And I'm like, well, it's COVID. Everybody gained some weight. So that's why there's gym. Like I started doing these insanity workouts like on DVD and they're freaking crazy. Like I can't. So, like I sweat in the first 15 seconds, but yeah, just have to power through.
Yeah. Hopefully people will get back to it. After COVID and everything settled down. I mean, people slowly are, but I couldn't even go for a while. People didn't even want me people didn't want me to come into their homes, even for personal training at first. So I just kind of stepped away for it. This was that first year, like even my existing clients are like, yeah, we don't, we're just going to, well, they were a little bit older clients, but I think maybe eventually I'll get back into it, but we'll just see. I'm having too much fun doing other things right now.
Yeah. Like I was downtown yesterday, just taking a lot of pictures, and it seems like things are getting back to normal. Like almost nobody's wearing masks. Everybody's close by. Like families all hang around together and dance. And there was a concert downtown, but yeah, it's like they were dancing, and because some people were drunk. But yeah,
that's Savannah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, thank you so much. This has been super fun. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Being here.
And someday I want to turn it around. I want to ask you questions.
Okay, that sounds good to me. I will try not to say a lot of and like this, like that, because apparently I do other podcasts and I say a lot of those things, but it's not over the video. It's just like me editing a bunch of audio together. And
yeah, that's tough. I have that same problem. Like even now, I almost said and it's just trying to fill that space, like, or while you're thinking, doing that or the ahs or the pauses. So I get it.
Definitely. Cool. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you.